If you are over 60 and your feet are always cold, even when the rest of your body feels warm, you might think this is just a normal part of aging, something you have to live with for the rest of your life. But what if I told you that for many seniors, cold feet are not caused by age alone, not by the weather, and not even by poor circulation the way most people think? What if the real reason is a single, very common vitamin deficiency that quietly worsens after 60, and fixing it can noticeably improve warmth, comfort, and even nerve health in your feet? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you may realize that your cold feet are your body's early warning system, and the solution might be far simpler than you expect. Let's start by clearing up a major misunderstanding. Cold feet are often blamed only on poor blood flow, and while circulation does play a role, circulation itself is influenced by many factors inside your body, including your nerves, your red blood cells, and how well oxygen is being delivered to your tissues. As we age, these systems become more sensitive to deficiencies, especially certain vitamins that are essential for nerve signaling and healthy blood vessels. One vitamin stands out above the rest when it comes to cold feet in seniors, and that vitamin is B12. Vitamin B12 deficiency is extremely common in people over 60. Yet it is also one of the most overlooked causes of cold hands and feet. The reason is simply, the symptoms often develop slowly, and many people assume they are just normal signs of aging. Vitamin B12 plays a critical role in keeping your nerves healthy. Your nerves are like electrical wires that send signals from your brain to the rest of your body, including your feet. When B12 levels drop, the protective covering around these nerves, called the myelin sheath, begins to break down. When that happens, nerve signals slow down or become distorted. One of the earliest sensations people notice is coldness, tingling, numbness, or a pins and needles feeling in the feet, even if blood is flowing reasonably well. Damaged nerves may fail to properly sense warmth or regulate blood vessel responses, making your feet feel cold all the time. Now here is where it gets even more important for seniors. As you get older, your ability to absorb vitamin B12 from food naturally decreases. This is not because you are doing something wrong, but because your stomach produces less acid over time. Stomach acid is needed to separate B12 from the protein in foods like meat, eggs, and dairy. Many people over 60 also take acid, reducing medications for heartburn or reflux, which further reduces B12 absorption. On top of that, certain common medications, including metformin for blood sugar control, can lower B12 levels over the long term. All of this means you can be eating what looks like a healthy diet and still slowly become deficient. Cold feet are often one of the first noticeable signs, but they are rarely the only ones. Many seniors with low B12 also experience fatigue, weakness, balance problems, memory issues, or mood changes. However, because these symptoms appear gradually, they are often ignored or attributed to aging. The body adapts for a while, but eventually the deficiency catches up, and that's when discomfort like constant cold feet becomes harder to ignore. Let's talk about why B12 deficiency specifically affects the feet more than other parts of the body. Your feet are farthest from your heart and brain, which means they rely heavily on strong nerve signals and healthy circulation to maintain temperature. When nerve function is impaired, the small blood vessels in your feet may not widen properly in response to cold. This makes it harder for warm blood to reach the area, so your feet feel cold even in a warm room. In some cases, people wear thick socks or use heaters, but the underlying issue remains unaddressed. Another important role of vitamin B12 is in red blood cell production. Without enough B12, your body may produce fewer or abnormal red blood cells. These cells carry oxygen throughout your body, including to your feet. Reduced oxygen delivery can contribute to cold sensations and fatigue in the muscles and tissues. This is why B12 deficiency can sometimes mimic symptoms of poor circulation or even anemia. Now let's address an important question many people ask. How do you know if your cold feet are caused by vitamin B12 deficiency and not something more serious? The truth is, you cannot diagnose this by symptoms alone. Conditions like peripheral artery disease, diabetes, related nerve damage, and thyroid problems can also cause cold feet. However, B12 deficiency is often present alongside these conditions and can make symptoms worse. That is why it is so important to consider B12 as part of the bigger picture, especially if you are over 60. One of the most practical steps you can take is to ask your doctor for a simple blood test to check your B12 levels. Many labs consider levels above a certain number to be normal, but research shows that symptoms can occur even when levels are in the low, normal range. This means you might be technically within range, but still functionally deficient. A knowledgeable healthcare provider will look at your symptoms, medications, and overall health, not just a single number. If your B12 levels are low or borderline, correcting the deficiency can make a real difference. In some cases, dietary changes are enough. Foods naturally rich in B12 include meat, fish, eggs, and dairy products. However, as we discussed earlier, absorption is often the main problem in seniors, not intake. This is why many older adults benefit from B12 supplements. Sublingual B12, which dissolves under the tongue, or B12 injections prescribed by a doctor, bypass some of the absorption issues in the stomach. It is also important to understand that B12 is a water-soluble vitamin, which means excess amounts are generally excreted in urine. This makes it relatively safe when used appropriately, but that does not mean more is always better. The goal is to restore healthy levels, not megadose without guidance. Always talk to a healthcare professional before starting new supplements, especially if you have underlying medical conditions. Now let's talk about what not to do, because this is just as important. Many people try to treat cold feet by focusing only on external solutions like heating pads, electric blankets, or thick socks. While these can provide temporary comfort, they do not address the root cause. Others turn to circulation supplements or herbal remedies without knowing whether their nerves are functioning properly. If the nerve signal telling your blood vessels to open is impaired, these approaches may have limited benefit. Another common mistake is ignoring cold feet because they are not painful. Discomfort without pain is easy to dismiss, but nerve-related symptoms often start subtly. Addressing a B12 deficiency early can help prevent more serious nerve damage down the line, which may become irreversible if left untreated for too long. Lifestyle factors also play a role in supporting nerve and circulation health. Staying physically active encourages healthy blood flow to the legs and feet. Even gentle walking can stimulate circulation and improve warmth. Managing blood sugar levels is crucial, especially for seniors with diabetes, because high blood sugar damages nerves and worsens symptoms of cold feet. Avoiding smoking is also critical, as smoking constricts blood vessels and reduces oxygen delivery. Hydration is another often overlooked factor. Dehydration thickens the blood slightly and can impair circulation, making cold sensations more noticeable. Drinking enough water supports overall vascular health and complements the benefits of correcting a vitamin deficiency. It's also worth mentioning that vitamin B12 does not work in isolation. Other nutrients like iron, folate, and vitamin B6 support red blood cell production and nerve health. Magnesium and omega-3 fatty acids help maintain healthy blood vessels. However, B12 is often the missing piece in seniors because of absorption issues, which is why it deserves special attention when cold feet are present. As B12 levels improve, some people notice changes within weeks, while for others it may take a few months. Nerves heal slowly, and the timeline depends on how long the deficiency has been present. The key is consistency and monitoring. If you begin supplementation under medical guidance, follow-up testing can confirm that levels are improving. Let me also address a concern that often comes up. Some people worry that cold feet means something serious is already happening. While that is possible, in many cases it is your body's early signal asking for support. Think of it as a warning light on a dashboard, not an engine failure. Paying attention now can prevent bigger problems later. So if you are over 60 and dealing with cold feet, don't just accept it as normal aging. Ask the right questions. Consider vitamin B12 as a potential contributor. Look at your diet, your medications, and your overall health. Simple steps like testing an appropriate supplementation can make a meaningful difference in comfort, mobility, and quality of life. To wrap this up, remember this: persistent cold feet in seniors are often linked to nerve and circulation changes, and vitamin B12 deficiency is one of the most common and fixable causes. Addressing it early supports nerve health, blood flow, and overall energy. If you found this information valuable, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and let me know in the comments what topic you want to see next.